on how the tax credit application is. But if it's approved, then what it would do, what it would bring immediately within a year's time, probably starting next May if approved, it will bring about 44 units, total 44 units, 40 townhomes, 4 single-family units. Of the 40 townhomes, you have 9 2-bedrooms, 29 3-bedrooms, and the remaining 16 4-bedroom units, with rents ranging anywhere from about $649 to $917. So that's an immediate impact if this is about a $10 million deal here. So once again, it's a situation where you've had developers, you've had persons actually come in and say, okay, we like what you all are doing. We see that the demand is outweighing the supply. We feel as though we can help you all actually make an impact in regards to what you're doing. So as you can see, hopefully I'll give you an update. I'll give you some fruits of our labor. And everything here, as I indicated, we've touched. There are commitments that have been made. So this is not make-believe. This is actual factual. So with that, I'll turn over to Mr. Campbell. We'll talk about some upcoming projects.
All right, well, good afternoon. My name is Warren Campbell, and I'm working with APD. We are a consultant with the city. And first of all, I'd like to say that the relationship so far with the city, and I think going into the future, has been strong and will continue to be strong. To do a project like this, it really takes a strong public-private partnership. And here in Augusta, Richmond County, we have that. We have a strong partner that is obviously interested in helping the community reach its full potential. And so we really enjoy working with this, and we look forward to moving forward. Again, as I said, I work with APD, Urban Planning and Management. We're the consultant for housing and community development. And just very, very briefly, I want to introduce some of my team, starting off with Mr. Wiles. He is the president and CEO, the brains of the organization. In the back, we've got Mr. Ellis Adwaka Kane, construction design. Far in the back, we've got Linda Matute. She's also a designer with our firm. And then we've got Abby Rickoff. She's one of our urban planners, designers. And then finally, Mr. Jesse Wiles III. He's another one of our members. But, so like I said, I'm happy to be here today. And what I've been talking about are some of the upcoming projects. What you've seen is the brick and mortar, the things that are moving forward right now. And so what I like to talk about are the things that are shortly upcoming. To start off with, this is really what I consider to be the western gate of the community, the western bookend. This is the W4 area, or otherwise known as the Augusta Foundry. Well, it's formerly known as the Augusta Foundry, but now it's known as Augusta Place, or Foundry Place. And what this involves is, this is an effort where we're working with a local designer to come up with a master plan showing what can be done in this area. This is at the intersection of R.A. and Riceboro Road, right across from the newly christened dental school. And what we're envisioning is a mixed-use development, which would be a combination of some retail, some multifamily, with some single-family, but also services. And what those services would involve would be retail services, maybe some office commercial, as I mentioned, the housing. In addition to those services, we see this as an opportunity to provide some jobs for the local residents. So not only the temporary jobs in construction, but also the jobs that come about by means of the services and the businesses that would open up there. That's a part of the economic development that we're looking to bring to the neighborhood. The overall design for this area, we intend that it will complement the existing architecture that's situated. We've got a couple of images on the side here. These are some images borrowed from the firm of DPC, but we feel that they represent something compatible for the neighborhood in terms of the scale, the size, and the materials that will blend in with existing architecture. And we anticipate that the master planning will be complete around the first quarter of next year, so maybe February or so. Another upcoming project that we have is the St. Benedict's Boarding School restoration. What we're doing is we're working with the existing owner of this facility. The intent is to work with them, bring on board some of the developers that we're working with, possibly going out to some others if we can find a good match. And the owners of this facility have indicated that they would like to see this school restored in a residential use. It could potentially be some market rate housing, or potentially it could be some additional affordable housing. But we feel like this is one of the architectural gems of the neighborhood. It's been around for over 100 years. It was built in 1902. So we see this as a part of our continuing effort to remember the history of this neighborhood and build on it. So we're working closely with the owners. We look forward to presenting some proposals to them in the next 60 to 90 days or so as to what can happen. Yet another gem in the neighborhood is the Penny Savings Bank. This is a structure located at the intersection of James Brown Boulevard and Laney Walker Boulevard. As some of you know, the Penny Savings Bank was the headquarters for one of the first African American banks in the country. And so we feel like it would really be a gem in the crown of the entire neighborhood if we could take this thing, get it restored, get it back in business. And so Augusta Richmond County has recently purchased this building. And right now we're looking at working with some of our developers as to some of the uses which this facility could be converted into, whether it's office or retail or some other uses. So we're excited about this project and we look forward to moving forward on it. The next item that we're looking at is the Immaculate Conception project, and we actually have Mr. Richard Orphan here, who can talk about what his plans are. Would you be willing to say a couple words?
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Richard Arpin. I'm the Director of Planning and Development for the Augusta Housing Authority. Ever since we tore down Gilbert Manor, or we sold Gilbert Manor to the Medical College of Georgia, we always had a commitment to do some replacement housing, especially in the Laney Walker Boulevard area. So we've been looking for a while, and then earlier this year we decided to put an option to buy the property on the old Immaculate School site and put some affordable housing on there. Of course, this is not a done deal yet. We're going through many steps to make this thing happen. Of course, we had to get HUD approval, which is a problem because the main thing we're shooting for is getting the approval of the SHPO office, which is the State Historical Preservation Office. Initially, we said we're going to tear everything down and build housing on there, similar to what you're doing on Pine Street. But of course, the historical people said no way. So they want to keep all the buildings on the site. So we've been going back and forth, negotiating what we can do. Finally, today we got a letter from them saying that we do our latest proposal, which is on the board up there. What we plan to do is keep the main church, but tear down the dormitory, when we call it, and keep the two-story structure, the old classroom two-story structure, and convert that into housing. And on the two-story building, we put about 6 units in there and some rental office. And the church would just tear that one wing off and have the rest of the building be as a community space in there. Then the remainder of the site would build about 16 or 17 single-family duplexes or single-family homes in there with the architectural style very similar to what you're doing on Pine Street. We still need a couple more obstacles to go. We still need final HUD approval. Then, of course, my board has to approve this site before we actually move forward on it. But I think we're finally getting close on it, and getting the approval today from the State Historical Preservation Office was a big step that we had to overcome. We've been working on this for quite a while. But we think it will be a big compliment in the area. We're still saving the church and the two-story structure, which has a lot of history behind it. So I think we're moving forward, and we'll do two things. We'll save the church and build some affordable housing that seems in the area. So we think we're doing fine. We said we're almost there yet. We still have 2 more steps to go. It's final HUD approval and approval by my board. Any questions? Thank you.
All right. Excuse me, Glenda, could you back up to W4? Actually, in talking about W4, what I kind of rushed through it and I skipped over one of the elements that I think people would be interested in. And this is a part of our overall process, is that not only are we interested in bricks and mortar, not only are we interested in economic development, but one of the initiatives we have in this area is what we're calling an overlay district, where we're planning to, we've already worked through planning to get some enabling legislation approved. And so now we're working with the steps of what would it take to put some protections on the neighborhood. The main intent is to protect the investment that Augusta Richmond County is putting into the neighborhood, and also protect the integrity and the fabric of the neighborhood by putting in some land use restrictions which respect what's already in place, which respect some of the uses which some of our partners have indicated that they'd like to see, like Antioch Baptist Church and Beulah Grove Baptist Church, and which restricts some of the uses which we feel will be detrimental to the neighborhood. So that's something that we're looking to bring to the neighborhood. And I can say at this time that we're looking to have another meeting next week, this coming Wednesday, at 6 o'clock at Beulah Grove Baptist Church, where we'll talk about the overlay district in detail. But at this meeting, we're talking about the overall neighborhood. Yes, sir.
What uses do you consider detrimental to the neighborhood?
Strip clubs, liquor stores, nightclubs. We'll just top of my head.
They're following their restrictions.
Excuse me?
That's a restriction.
Those will be restricted, yes. So the things that we're encouraging is single family, multi-families, retail, some commercial, neighborhood stores, etc., community centers. I've got a lady in the back, yes ma'am? The boarding school, that would be, yes, let me get to St. Benedict's. Yes. One more. St. Benedict's. Yes, sir. All right. The plan with St. Benedict's is that we have spoken to the existing owners of this facility, and they have indicated that they are willing to restore this building, and they're willing to look at some options. And so we're looking to bring some of our developers to the table that we feel have the know-how and the ability to restore this facility to full use. And the main direction right now is in residential. That's the thought. It would be some type of residential. I've got a man right here, yes sir.
It's a immaculate conception concept, and I think that scares a lot of people. I understand that you was talking about public housing. My question is, what kind of guidelines are they going to use? Is it going to be a Section 8 for the neighborhood, or is it going to be some kind of criteria for the housing people stay in? You know, what I'm saying is, what the criteria so the neighborhood will feel safe in the areas which that the upkeep and the integrity to the neighborhood is going to continue.
All right. Well, Mr. Arthman, you can speak to it if you want, but I know that it's going to be senior housing. It's going to be senior housing facility. Seniors?
Senior. Okay.
Yes.
55 and over.
55 and over?
Have decided it could be 55 or 65.
At least 55, but maybe higher.